Yo, people, it's Duppy, and you are now watching the Urban Download.
Yo, D-U-P-P-Y-Y.
What's going on, people? Myself, Jedah, again, here for another installment of the Urban Download. I am joined by none other than Duppy, aka Artistic Duppy, aka the scene's go-to MC, the new generation of grime, the new savior of grime. I could go on for a long, long time. Welcome, my brother.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome. I see how you nodded straight away because I know we've had this discussion before, man. You're a very humble guy, man. And I know that whenever someone's like giving you that, yeah, man, Duppy's the new breath of fresh air of grime, you're like, no, man, like I'm just
you know me, bro. I like to just keep it. You know what I'm saying, man? I'm humble.
100, man. That's good.
Thank you, though.
Nah, you're welcome, man. So, yeah, man, thank you for joining me today. As I say to all my guests that I know everyone's busy doing their own stuff right now, personal, musical, whatever it may be. But the first thing I'm going to ask you, brother, as I always ask my guests, forget about music, forget about everything musically, just you as a human being. How are you?
I'm good, you know. I'm actually good still. Like, I've just been getting on with life, innit? Like, even outside of music, like, a lot of people don't know that I'm at uni as well, outside of music, and I work part-time, innit? So, like, I've just been getting on with my dissertation, like behind the scenes, trying to make sure I've patterned everything. I've gone back to work recently. I went back to work like a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, other than that, I'm good, bro. I've just been grinding, making music, doing my work, and going work. So that's about it.
Do you know what? When I hear that, it's amazing to hear, because no disrespect from young like men, not even young men, young people who live in London, but your age, are going through struggles physically, mentally, life, money, everything. But you've been able to maintain that kind of frame of mind where you're just working, but you're also studying as well, and you're doing music at the same time.
Yeah.
How has that been for you? Has that been challenging and able to balance both, or have you been able to like maintain it? How's that been for you?
To be honest, at the beginning, like when I first started university and whatnot, I wasn't heavily into music as I am now. So like when I was in first year and second year of uni, it was much easier to just balance what I was doing, because like I wasn't like where I am now, innit? So like I didn't have like sets to go to per se, or I didn't have to go studio or whatnot. So it was easy for me to just crack on with my work kind of thing. But my last year, it's been a mad thing, but I've just had to juggle everything as best as I can, innit? Like even to the point right now, I'm not even going studio as much, or I'm not going as much sets, because like I need to just finish this dissertation and finish the rest of my coursework. But like juggling it is not as hard as it seems. You just have to be really dedicated to doing each part of your work. Like, so as much as I'm dedicated into my music, I have to be dedicated to my uni studies at an equal amount. So
what motivates you? What motivates you to do all that?
A lot of things, to be honest. Like I just know that within myself, like I set so many like high standards for myself in life in general. So like, and I'm the type of person, if I've started something, I have to finish it no matter what it is. So like even with university, for example, it's been difficult. There's been so many ups and downs. I've changed unis, everything. But
really?
Yeah. I used to be in Leicester before, then I moved and came back to London.
Wow.
But like, I don't know. I've just got this go mode in my head, and it's just never off. I just have to keep going. Like even with my mum, for example, I look at my mum and just see that she's just done her best to just make sure that the roof over our head is just the best that it can be, to make sure that I'm always fed. And I've watched her graft, so I have to graft myself even more than she has, just to give her back, give myself, give my family.
100%, man. Yeah, you know what I say to a lot of people tell me that they look at their parents as inspiration for how they conduct themselves, and it's true, bro. Like when I see my mum and dad, like my mum, like right now, my mum working 2 jobs right now, and you know she's in her 60s. You know, the one's there, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? That's what's made me just keep carrying on, because I feel that I'm not just letting myself down, I'm letting my family down. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's an excellent trait for someone of your age. Just out of interest, how old are you?
I'm 21 still,
You're
so
21.
yeah,
Do you know what?
I'm gonna be 22 in a couple months in June.
Jeez, say no more. You know,
I'm a
you've got
young buck.
you are, but you are a young buck. You're from the ends, but you've got your head screwed on. And I'm gonna go into a little bit more about that later on. Because it's very inspiring to see. And to be honest, bro, you may disagree, and I know I said you're very humble, but you are actually a role model for the younger generation. I know it's maybe too early to say, but it's true. When
I can accept that one.
Yeah, I know that's not the first time you've heard that story. You've probably heard that a few, but it's true though, and it's a testament to you, my brother, because like I said, things are difficult for the younger generation today, and when you are balancing music, work, and university, yeah, big respect to you. Let me start with this, right? Duppy, the name Duppy. For some, obviously, who may not know what the meaning is, what I'd like to understand first is two parts of the question: is were you always called Duppy? And second part of the question is, why are you called Duppy and where did it come from?
So, boom. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? So, like, before I went to uni, that obviously, you know what Snapchat is, and everyone knows what Snapchat is. I had Snapchat in it. And on Snapchat, my name was Ghost, yeah? But that's just what it was. And if you don't know, Duppy means ghost in Patois, innit? I'm Caribbean, from Caribbean descent, Dominican, Jamaican, so yeah.
Yes, yes.
Duppy means ghost in Patois. But my old Snapchat name used to be Ghost, innit? And then, like, I would be on the end, for example, and then I'll see someone I haven't seen for ages, and they'll be like, bro, like, where you been? You've been ghosting. Like, where are you, bro? I've been here, innit? I've been on the ends, just doing my thing. You just ain't seen me. So I remember, gone to uni, got a new Snap, changed my Snap name to Duppy because you can't put the same name twice. So you got Snap.
Okay, right.
So I changed it to Duppy. And this is before, like, I've started spitting, like, properly, innit? So gone to uni now. One day I'm walking on campus. I remember this day so clearly. I'm walking on campus. I heard, yo, Duppy. Well, I'm looking around. I'm confused. I'm thinking, bro, that because no one's ever called me that before, innit? And then from then, that I think it was So when I got to uni, that's what everyone started calling me because of my Snapchat name. And then when I started spitting, that was just my name, innit?
I hear you.
Yeah.
That's interesting still. So there hasn't been you weren't an MC called Ghost. It was literally from that moment you embraced that kind of one of the mandem just calling you out, and it stuck with you from then. That's amazing to hear. What I really want to understand, and again, we're going to talk about this later on, is your talent, musical talent more specifically. But where has that come from? Forget about the MCing stuff. There is something inside you musically. Where has that come from? Has it come from your parents, family? Like, let's really understand the root of where that came from.
Yeah. I think definitely my family, most definitely. Like, both my parents, like, they're in their 40s, but they were both born here, innit? So the music that I grew up listening to was everything from the Caribbean all the way to American music to the music from over here. So that's literally like jungle, garage, grime, like when it first started, R&B, hip hop, soca, bashment, reggae, Afrobeats, everything. I've listened to everything, and there's something that's always stuck with me. Yeah, I remember when I was a little kid, like, my mum had this big stereo player. Yeah, and she had loads of CDs. She had bare CDs. I used to just sit down, for hours, bro, and take all the CDs out and listen to each CD individually, beginning to end, every album.
What, every track? Every single album?
I'll take all you can't ask my mum, I swear to God. I would just sit there, take all the CDs out, put them in, listen to it. If I don't like a song, I'll skip it. If I like a song, I'll keep listening to it. Make sure I know what that song is.
Right.
Next album. Then I just used to steal my mum's CDs because I had my own stereo player now, innit?
Okay.
Then I used to steal my mum's CDs. So then, my family's got a musical background as well. Like, I know, like, a few, like, one of my aunts back in the day, she was a singer.
Okay.
My uncle, Garage MC, RTZ, I don't know if you heard of him.
Of course I heard RTZ. Oh my days.
Yeah. My uncle still,
Jeez, okay. What, no back-to-back now?
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to draw for him still.
Yeah, 100. That'd be sick.
Yeah. But yeah, man, so I've got a quite large musical background still.
Right. So you obviously came into music not, I wouldn't say late, but late probably in your life, because obviously for some they kind of embrace like the MCing and the production maybe from a young age. When was it when you decided you wanted to be an MC, or were you just spitting bars before you thought, yeah, I might try to do this properly?
This story is funny, yeah, because I started producing before I was MCing.
Okay.
So when I was like 15, I was studying music in school, and then like for my GCSEs, I remember like, we actually had to make a beat. Like it was an exam, we had to make an instrumental. So I've done that, and then from then I just loved it in it. So I started producing at 15, got Cubase. But I remember when I was producing, I swore to myself that I would never ever spit. I would never pick up a pen.
No
ever.
way.
No one could convince me otherwise. I was not on it. But I think that was because at the time, it just seemed like everyone around me just wanted to spit in it.
Mm-hmm.
So that everyone just wanted to be a rapper. And I don't like doing what everyone else is doing. Like I'm on my own thing in it. So I was just like, nah, cool, not spitting. Then I think one day I wrote a bar, yeah, like to one of my instrumentals in it. And then I sprayed it. And then I was like, no, this is hard, you know. Like I used to voice memo myself in it.
How old were you?
About, I think I've hit uni this time, so I'm about 18 now.
Okay. So you
Right,
were voice memoing yourself here. Listen to your own stuff. Okay.
So about 18 now, I was doing that. And then I remember one of my brethren from uni came to my room one day in it. Then I started spraying. I started showing him my bars, my instrumentals and whatnot. He was like, fam, you're hard. You need to do this properly. That you need to. And then from then I started doing like the Instagram freestyles and whatnot. And then 2019, I decided to just drop my first single. And then from there, it's just taken off.
100%. I want to go back to your mother, because Grime, I want to understand. Obviously, your mum started to see you listen to all her CDs, all her tunes. Was she like encouraging you to listen to more music, or was it just like, oh, okay, yeah, my son's listening to music and she's just enjoying you doing your thing?
My mum's put me on to so much music. It's crazy that
really?
My mum is she's a music connoisseur. I have to be real.
Okay.
So like, there's a lot of things.
Hold on. Big up, Mumsy every time.
Trust me, big up Mumsy still. Big up my mum. She's put me, and my dad as well. Both of them, they put me onto a lot musically. Like even my mum will show me certain instrumentals now, and she'll be like, "Raw, like listen to this. Maybe you could sample this, or maybe you might like this." Or
wow.
This that.
So yeah, even today, your parents will say, "Check this out. Like give this a go and see what you're thinking." That's amazing.
All my instrumentals, I show them to my mum's. Listen, like my mum listens to my music, everything. Like,
that is incredible. Yo, how does that? I know. But how does that feel for you, bro? Like you've come far in a very short space of time, but you've got support from your mother and father, and they're helping. Yeah, sorry. How does that make you feel?
No, it makes me feel good, you know, because especially when like I take into consideration like some people don't even like have their parents around them to even have normal conversations with them, let alone help them, lead them in what they really want to do in life, innit? So I'm very appreciative of my parents, to be honest. That it feels good that they're just behind me and supporting me. Because some parents are very traditional as well, and they say, "No, like forget music, just go be a doctor or something." But whatever I wanted to do, my mum and my dad, they've always shared me on still. So yeah, it feels good.
I couldn't agree with you more, because basically I come from a very strict Asian family where my dad was like education. But the maddest thing is when I hit 18, my dad bought me a pair of dicks. So I'm thinking to myself, hold on a minute. Like I'm thinking, hold on a minute. Like, you get me? You want me to study, but I've got like you bought me a pair of dicks and speakers and all things there. But yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, man. It's a blessing and appreciate that I was able to have my parents as well to support me in my kind of direction as well, which is great to hear, man. It's evident with your work rate today and your and the quality of your work as well. What I'd like to understand is obviously you've got a great passion for grime. And you mentioned how, you know, you were doing a music production course and obviously you had to make a beat. But what I really want to understand is, where did the original passion for grime come from? What was your influences from grime for you to say, you know, I want to write 2 bars, or I want to make a few beats? Like, where were you in your stage of your life when you first heard grime and that influenced you?
I've been listening to grime like all my life. So Channel U was when I was introduced to grime, really. Like I remember I'll be at home, I'll be at my nan's house. And then me, like I'm a mischievous kid in it. So I'm taking the remote and I'm just changing the channel because I want to. And then you would just change it to channel U. I think it was 381 back in it. What was
I
it
think
back
so
in
still.
380? One
I
of them.
think so.
Still.
I'm bad still with that still, but I
Yeah.
think you're right.
But yeah, I used to just change it. And then I used to just watch that. Then I'll see that Dizzy Rascal, I Love You. I see Pete. I see flipping Project Hands in it. Put your hands in the air.
I read him. Oh.
Everybody rock out, take your hands in the air. When you hear it, take your hands in the air. Silently, take your hands in the air.
Pitchy Strider,
PTJ.
Underground, everything. Bomb Squad. I used to just see everything. I used to just love it. I used to love it. So that when I got a bit older and I was old enough to like go on the computer and whatnot, I just used to go on YouTube, just find all the grime I could find and just listen and watch, whether it's warm-up sessions, whether it's a set, like F radio or whatever, like, or if it's a song, I'll just listen. I'll listen to instrumentals. And from then, I was always in love with grime. I'm still in love with grime to today. Like, I'm a grime kid, innit? So since my first interaction with grime, I've loved it. And one thing that's always like remained with me, that my granddad, rest in peace, my granddad,
Amen.
the first album that he ever bought me was Boy in the Corner.
No.
That was the first album anyone ever bought for me. This is your CD, was Boy in the Corner.
Why was it that your grandpa, and may his soul rest in peace, why was it that he purchased that one for you? Did he realize that you liked grime? Was it just he just bought it because he thought
you know what?
Like
yeah, I think I was just too. I think at the time I was too young to understand, innit? But now that I look back, I think he knew that this is what I was.
That's what I'm trying to get at. I think he had an idea that because that's not. I mean, no disrespect, but that's not a random. That is a random kind of album to buy someone of your age. But then at the same time, it isn't. You get what I'm saying? Because he obviously kind of clocked that there was something there that you kind of appreciated.
And bear in mind, when I got that album, I was young. I was young. I think I was about like 10 when I got that album. So I was young. So, yeah, that album changed my life still. I can't lie.
Big up to your granddad, man. Like I said, made so rest in peace. Because again, another influence that you probably didn't acknowledge until obviously later on. You're thinking, whoa, like if you deep it now, like damn, that actually had a positive direction to where I am to this day. So yeah, big up to him, man. Okay, it's crazy when you mention YouTube because when I was 9 or 10, we didn't have any of that, bro. I literally had, them ones there.
Had your imagination,
bro. Yeah, trust me, man. How times have changed, man. But what I want to understand, what's artistic Duppy? What is that?
I'm gonna be real, yeah. You see, this is just, artistic Duppy is just random, innit? So you know that when you have to make a name on Twitter, that. I just needed it to be longer because for some reason the name Duppy
would let you.
Yeah, the name Duppy on Twitter is taken, innit? So I'm thinking, bro, like, how can the name Duppy be taken? And that's my name. So what am I gonna put? And then I started thinking about myself, like, bro, like, what are the words I would use to describe myself? And then I came out with a lot of different words, but artistic stood out to me. Artistic Duppy, I put it together.
Yeah, man.
I had to into it, and I am like. That's what I do. I make art and I make music, I make my instrumentals and I write. So I'm creative, innit? So
do you have any other hobbies aside from work?
Gym.
Okay. How important is that for you?
To be honest, during lockdown, like the whole of lockdown, my working out schedule has been a bit inconsistent. But now, yeah, it's peak. I'm back on it. Like, I really think the gym's important still. It's therapeutic and it's a healthy way to relieve stress as well. So I think that working out is like an important thing. I think a lot of people should just invest their time working out, to be
Definitely,
honest.
man. Like I said, through these difficult times, we all have to try and find an outlet to kind of just relieve whatever was going on with ourselves. So yeah, I agree. I need to listen to you, bro, because I ain't gone gym in time, bro. You know the ones there.
Well, you don't look like you need to go to the gym.
Nah, bro. Trust me, I do, bro. Lockdown's been peak for me. Trust me. All right, listen. So, realistically, how long have you been MCing for? Give me a figure.
I'd say 4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
Because when you look on your Instagram, around 2018 is when you started first posting stuff of you spitting. Like, were you in 2018? Is that when you were going full hearted? You were just going at it, or were you just testing the waters?
No, that's when I decided, because that's after my first year of uni. So by the 2018, that's when I've decided this is me. Like, this is what I'm actually going to focus on.
Grew up in Camberwell and Peckham. Suburb was what I'm repping.
So 2018 was an important year, especially leading on into 2019 as well, because that's when I started going to a lot of cyphers and open mics. Hold tight the Pit London, because they used to hold all of them in Brixton, in Peckham, and yeah, I just used to go by myself. I just go open mics.
Yeah, I remember saying that was really that helped you quite a lot, because I saw a few comments where a few people were reaching out like, "Oh, hey man, would you jump on like a drill kind of I don't know what it was, like a kind of band or something like that?" I think they reached out to you. I don't know if you saw that stuff like that, and
definitely.
It's amazing to see, because you're young, you're 21 years old. My question to you, bro, is how come there's only a few of you that have jumped and kept the grime new generation alive? Because I was obviously a lot of your youth move over to drill and so, but you stuck with it. Why is that? Why do you think that is?
To be honest, I think, all right, for me, this is what it is. Grime, like, when it first came about, was the voice of the streets then, and drill is the voice of the streets today. So like, they both express like the same thing through their music, but it's just two different styles. But the thing with me, I'm not a youth that lives the life of a drill, or the drill youth, what life they're said to lead anyway. Because like, fair enough, I've gone through different stages of my life, I've gone through things, I've done things X, Y, and Z, but I don't live my typical life like what the image of a drill person would. So I just have to be myself. It doesn't make sense for me to do drill music, because my life doesn't resonate with that. It doesn't make sense for me to do rap. My life doesn't resonate with that. Like, I'm not a flashy person. I'm not boastful. I'm just me. So I think grime, like, it's just it's a full representation of my personality. So I think that's why naturally I just gravitate towards it, because you can be yourself.
100%. You mentioned how grime is a true reflection of your personality, and that's evident with the way you spray your bars, your music production. We'll talk about your music production in a bit, but the way you spray your bars, I mean, how would you explain that to someone who wants to listen to your music for the first time? What would you say to them when you say, okay, so what's your sound? How do you explain your kind of, your lyrics, your bars?
Raw and energetic. That's what I'd say, definitely.
Energetic is an understatement, brother. Like, you know what? I mean, all I can say is wow, because I've done plenty of radio shows, plenty of sets with you of recent, and it's incredible to see where energy would just be there from the get-go. For some MCs, it would take them a time to warm up. With you, from the get-go, you would just go all guns blazing right to the very end of the set. And it's where does that energy come from, brother? Because I know it's naturally within you, but like, raw.
You see, when I used to watch sets, I don't know how other people judge things, innit? Like, a lot of people's that judgment is just subjective. Like, everyone's got their different forms of judgment. But when I used to watch sets, you see the person that went the most, like, who went super ham in that set. It's the guy, not the guy that's got energy and can just shout in the mic. The guy that's got energy that can shout in the mic, but knows when to control it, how to do it, and knows how to use it. So whether he knows he can do that for the whole set, or whether he knows he can't, like, emphasizing certain words in their delivery, everything. That's just for me, innit? So like,
very smart analysis.
Yeah, that's just what it is for me.
I mean, that's amazing, because no disrespect to the fellow MCs, but it takes just more than being an MC. You've got to analyze the situation. You've got to analyze the DJ. You've got to analyze the rhythm. You've got to analyze, and that's clearly evident with how your output, bro. Like I said, on a set, it's incredible, because you'll have your peaks and your lows, but you'll do that strategically. The way you convey your sound. And Bro, honestly, like again, we're going to talk about your work, what you've been doing from on a set perspective and on tunes and events as well.
Yeah.
But okay, right. Your lyrics. Let's talk about that because what is it? Like what are you trying to say? Like where do you get your mindset from to sit down and write those lyrics? Let's talk about that. I want to understand how do you get into the right frame of mind, to write bars. What do you usually talk about? What's the main thing usually, like the topics that you talk about?
So in terms of like when I like to write, I like to write in the evening and I like to write when I'm traveling because I feel like those two times is when my mind is not really focusing on anything. So I can actually focus on trying to make something. I can try and focus on creating because at night time, like your day's done, you haven't really got much to think about. You ain't got much to do. And when you're traveling, you're just getting to your destination. So you're not really worrying about anything kind of thing. So those are the times that I like to write. In terms of my lyrics, I think so. Like, I think there's two sides to me that as an artist as well, innit? So like, I've got times where I write lyrics where I'm actually talking about things that are going on around me or in the world, and then I've got times where I'm just talking about generic things or things that have happened to me specifically. A lot of the time, I'm talking about the latter, so it'll be about things that have happened to me specifically, or just things that I just see around that's just day to day, and like I try to put things in a way which, like, when I break it down to you, it doesn't just sound simple. Like, you're supposed to hear it and think, raw. Even if it's as simple as somebody walking and tripping up, the way I'm going to break that down to you, you're going to be like, raw, that's mad. But all he did was buckle and go. But I just think that again, that comes from me as a person as well, because that if you know me, that well, you do know me outside of music. Like, you know me, I'm a joker in it, and I like to have a laugh. And sometimes, you know me, I will be bantering and I drag things. So it's just a little bit of like exaggeration, I'd say, in it. So yeah, I think
That's
that's where it
amazing
comes
to
from.
see, because a lot, again, that's something that's lacking, and this is why a lot of people are saying you're the fresh air of grime. It's because you put your personality into your lyrics, into the way you convey your music as well, your energy, your demeanor, just everything, and that is what we used to see from the old Channel U days. A lot of people, a lot of artists come from South London or London, wherever it may be, put a lot of their personality into the way they convey their music and the way their sound as well. And again, it's because when I talk to you, when I listen to your music and stuff, and I'm like, rah, man, it's as if like I'm literally going back like 10, 15 years to when I first started Channel U. Do you know the ones there? Like, and a lot of people have said that. Like, a lot of people have said, like, I mean, let me read a comment to you. Yeah, this is some people have said this legit sounds like a grime classic. Another person has said, I'm not really a fan of rap music, but this guy's really good. It's good to see the young people of today making something of themselves. That's someone that's commented about your stuff. So you can see that a lot of people can resonate with you, saying that your music reminds them of, you know, whatever years, you know, how many years ago, but also you're gaining fans who don't even like grime music. Like, do you ever acknowledge that?
I find it weird. I don't find it weird. I just find it interesting. Weird is the wrong word. I find it interesting because, like, when I do listen to my music, I do get that more than a hint of the old school sound, but like I just try my best to make sure that I'm not, that it's just not old, innit? It's just modernized and it's just new, and it's something that people today will listen to. And I think that obviously I'm not somebody that has like the best understanding of music, because there's people that go to university that only do and study music properly, but like I would say that I do have a bit of an understanding, more than a bit of an understanding of music. I understand it, so that I know that there's even like certain instruments or certain words or certain phrases or certain flows that today people's ears, they're just not, it's not going to connect with that for whatever reason. Now, some people are not used to listening to grime like everybody else is. Like, some people have actually grown up in the UK, have never heard a grime song in their life.
Exactly.
So when I think about the people that don't listen to grime and the people that have never heard of grime before, I think, cool, how can I be myself and make you listen to me. Like, how can I do grime, but make sure the people that don't like it listen to me? And then, yeah, that's just what I think about.
Because it's amazing because you've been doing this for quite, 4 to 5 years now. You've been doing this, and what I love to hear, especially from your instrumentals, is you don't overcomplicate things. You stick to your original sound. You don't. I'm not saying trying to adapt to it, because a lot of people will start off and then leave the original sound and then move on to something else. But with you keep it very, and it's no disrespect to me, because I grew up, I started grime in 2001. So when I'm hearing this, I'm like, yo, this actually sounds like back then, but it's newer. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a modern version of the scene back then. And I'm like, yo, this is incredible, bro. Like, I love it, because you're 21 and you're doing that. And a lot of people are like, yo, like, this brings back memories, but you're current. Do you get what I'm saying? And and I feel, and that's why I feel that you're an inspiration for a lot of people, especially people who've been in grime for a long time. They're like, because you're going against the grain. Do you get what I'm saying? You're going against the grain. And I feel passionate when I tell you this, because, like I said, being in grime heavily in for the last 20 plus years, I'm like, when I see you, I'm like, yeah, man, like you're keeping it real, you're keeping it true to the grime of what it is. But it's just amazing to see, man. So I'm very proud of you, man, because man,
I appreciate that a lot, man. Trust me, I do.
For real, man. And like I said, I know a lot of people tell you this, man, but I see that. Yeah, man, you're going to go into bigger and better things, man. And like I said, I'm massively proud of you, bro. But anyway, enough of the gassing, enough of that. All I'm going to say to you is, all right. So we've discussed your name, we've discussed your sound, music production. You started off as a producer. Did you start off making grime? Do you remember you said that how you did a school course and you had to make a grime beat? Did you start off with a grime beat, or was it something else?
I remember the beat that I made, like, because I didn't know what I was doing. It was just a random BPM, and I just made what I could on that random BPM, and then just hammered it in. But by the time I actually wanted to become a producer, and I got the software that I put on my laptop and everything, like, it's so weird, because I didn't make a conscious decision to do grime, but it's just like, I'm just a grime kid, innit? So like, it was just my instinct to just go on Cubase, put 140 BPM, start making a beat. Like, I've made other instrumentals before. When I first started producing that, the first couple of years, I used to make that rap instrumentals as well. But that's just not me.
You, it's in your blood. Let's just be real. Let's be real. It's in your blood. As soon as you open Cubase, I'm hitting 140 BPM. I'm just gonna go and see whatever comes of it. Am I right in saying that?
Literally, bro. And
you obviously have made instrumentals for quite a while. What my favorite one is, again, that's probably, I think for me, that's the first instrument you ever sent to me, and I was like, raw. What's this? Like, you sent me your instrumentals first. I was like, what? And then you blew my mind, because this is another trait of you.
Yeah.
You MC, you make your own rhythms, and you spit on your own rhythms. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, in the scene today, you'll have people who are MCs who will make rhythms, but won't spit on their own tunes. They will send it to somebody else. But for you, that's resonated with you, and that's again your unique selling point. Obviously, there are other people that are doing it, but why did you feel that you wanted to spit on your own rhythms? What was your mindset?
I'm not gonna lie, do you know where it came from? It came from being a grime producer, that's young in South London, where everyone wants to do drill. So no one wanted to buy my rhythms, no one wanted to use them. So I'm on the tip where, cool, I'll use them then. Because if I want to do grime, I'm not going to use anyone else's. I'm going to use mine because I made them. So, and it came from then. It came from there. And then I actually realized that when you make your own instrumentals and you spit over your own instrumentals, it's like, I can't even describe it. It's a next thing. It's just crazy. Like,
I mean, I can't even explain, but I can only imagine that you're spitting on your own tunes. Probably the best feeling is when you hear it on the radio. Yeah.
bro.
And obviously that has happened quite a lot of recent. You've had your
Yeah,
Rinse FM plays, you've had Sir Spyro support of One Extra, you've had DJs across the whole Grime pirate stations and on internet stations playing your
yeah.
vocals. I mean, I can only imagine how that feels for you, bro. I mean, I've seen recently Oblig did a mix of a couple of your tunes on Rinse FM. You did a
Yeah.
little reaction video to that. That must have blew you away.
Listen, because these are the. Remember, I was talking to you about the new instrumentals as well. These were the new ones, innit? So I'm not. I'm still trying to see whether they're gonna gel well with everything else. And when I heard it on Rinse, yeah, I was listening to that show, bro. When I heard Oblig mix those instrumentals in, I was so gassed. The way he mixed them, the way they sounded on the radio, that the mix, everything, that I was so gassed. Because I think now that I've gained quite a bit of knowledge on music and actual like mixing and mastering and knowing how to do things when it comes to like the quality of my sound, I've really been trying to work on it. So when I've been trying to work on it and then like I hear my stuff on the radio and I'm happy with the way it sounds and that other people, that other DJs or other MCs are happy with the way that my work sounds, it makes me feel good, man. It makes me feel very good.
I mean, yeah, it's incredible to see because when I watched that video and I saw the way your reaction, it was just like, even though I've heard my music on radio, the fact that big up Oblig for mixing your tunes as well.
All the time, big up Oblig.
And on Rinse FM, and then obviously being a Grime kid, everyone wants their music to be played on Rinse FM, and obviously you've had a lot of plays on Rinse FM, but your own instrumentals, it's just the next thing. So as I said, I can only imagine how that feels for you, bro. Like it must be so rewarding. And if anything, you can laugh in people's faces because you can be like, well, you know what? I've spat on my own rhythms and it's getting airplay. Like you don't hear that these days. And big up yourself. And I've seen a lot of comments on YouTube where people have just said, Duppy, he spat on his own rhythms, he produced his own rhythms, and he's got his own visuals. Like you've even done a video to the rhythms. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, what you are literally like a one-man army, but just you don't have a team behind you doing all this. You're doing it all by yourself, balance it with school, university, and your work. Like amazing, bro. Amazing. Like I know obviously you've heard this, but it's just like, whoa, like and I can tell that seeing people's reactions to how well you've done is providing you more motivation just to keep carrying on. Am I right in saying that?
Definitely, bro. Like even when I don't have as much of a part to play as I usually would. So let's say, for example, that I remember this. I remember I sent my instrumentals out to like just loads of different DJs, and then I remember this DJ Milo, from Murder Family, had a set. Lyrical Shady was on that set, and obviously Lyrical Shady is one of my favorite MCs, isn't it? Like from like this generation, like my age group and whatnot. So he's spraying. Then I've heard my instrumental get mixed in it. So I'm like, wait. So Strady's on a set spitting over one of my instrumentals. Like it's my instrumentals that are getting spun on sets and people are spraying on them. People are going up to the DJs and asking, bro, what's this? Who made this? It makes me feel like, I just feel good. It makes me want to keep on going. It makes me just like, it just gives me the motivation to carry on. And it reassures me that I'm actually doing the right thing and I'm not doing anything wrong. So I just need to keep treading in this direction.
What of the older generation of grime? Because I'm no doubt they've probably spoken to you and big up Roachy, because Roachy's, I'm very close to Roachy and I was with him in the car the other day. And he just mentioned your name. He just went, Duppy, listen,
Roachy, my brother, I swear, man.
Roachy just got gas because listen, Duppy, he just went off on one. It's like, I'm telling you, that brother there, like, again, you're the new generation of grime, but you've got the OGs of grime looking at you as like, and they're just like, one fingers, like literally.
It's mad. It's so surreal, Like sometimes I actually have to take it in, like, and deep it properly, because especially when like, because I'm a grime kid, I've watched everyone. Like, I don't think there's an MC that I haven't watched. So when they're embracing that, I've come into the scene and they're just embracing me with open arms, they're praising me, giving me good advice, telling me what to look out for, like, and they're just, yeah, keeping an eye out for me and bigging me up. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy because it shows that one, that not only do they rate me, but they're also willing to support me, and
Of course.
that goes a long way. So
I mean, when you're getting the OGs, especially people like Rochi and Wiley, I mean, not to forget, they're giving you the attention and giving you the respect and recognition that is deserved. I mean, again, that's another motivational tool for you just to keep going, and which you're doing. Another thing is that you are, I think, represent radio. I think you had your first airplay. I think it was Clean Sheet. I think it was played.
Yeah,
and they introduced you as like the next Stormzy.
I want to play you something from a little young buck that has been coming through to our ciphers for like the last 3 or 4 events, and I've seen him grown in confidence through each one, and he's so humble and so sick, and he reminds me of like a young Stormzy. So I want to play his track for you. He goes by the name of Duppy, and this is his track, Clean Sheet.
I mean, that obviously is a lot to take in, but you know, for someone to say that about you speaks volumes. How did that make you feel? One, getting that said about you, and two, your first airplay on FM radio.
I remember that day like it was yesterday. Me and my mum again sitting in the car, waiting for the time so radio could come on. And I just heard it. I heard the introduction, the whole time, Dark Stepper, each and every time, whole time hit London, whole time represent, whole time Alfred. But yeah, I remember the introduction that Dark Stepper gave me. And when she said that, I just felt like, I don't know, it just made me feel like there's just going to be a lot of good things coming to me, because I'm a person, I believe, that people don't, that obviously there's people in life that say things just to say it. But when you come in contact with genuine people and people that are actually real, they don't just say things for the sake of saying it. They actually say it because they can see something or they believe it. Like, so yeah, when I heard that, it just made me feel like it's good.
The amazing thing is, you mentioned you were with your mum. Big up to your mum once again. She was there to witness it, to video it and record it.
Yeah.
Like, to hear that with your mum there, and I heard her in the background just getting gassed. Literally, like, that's my boy right there. Like, again, like, how did that make you feel? You heard that and your mum was there just with you to enjoy that moment, man.
Listen, like, my mum has enjoyed every single big moment with me. The little moments my mum shared with me. So the big moments my mum always shared with me. Like, my mum is always in my corner, always by my side. And I'm so grateful and I'm so happy to have her around me, because some people, they just don't care, or they've got a lot of children, so they can't invest time into that one child. I'm my mum's only child. Like, so it's literally always been me and her. My dad's always been there, but my mum and my dad are not together in it. And my dad has got other kids other than me. So it's not always going to be me. But with my mum, it's always been me and her. And we've always had such a close-knit relationship.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And you can tell.
I love sharing all my successes with her.
100%, man. Like I said, you wouldn't be here today if it weren't for her as well, man. So, all right, okay. We are coming to the last segments of your kind of your journey. I mean, we've understood your musical influences, but I would say that last year and this year has been your most prominent years of your grime career. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you've had a single with Grand Mixer, 72 Ways. You've been on Grime Originals stage for Garage Nation. Fold with Rochi, big up Rochi and Felix Stubbs. I mean, we'll talk about something that's coming up in July, which I want to wait till the very end. But again, like, you are, and I mentioned this in my introduction, you are the grime scene's go-to MC. And I've said this to you in person, and I say this passionately, is that you're from the south side of London. You have DJs begging for you to come to their radio shows, right? All across London, sometimes out of London. I ask you, and the first thing you say is, yeah, bro, like you don't, you obviously you'll think about it, but you won't be like, oh, no, it's a bit techie, it's in these ends and that ends. You will make the flipping journey irrespective of where it is, and you'll fund it all by yourself. That, for me, again, is showing the original grime traits of what I used to do. Driving everywhere, don't care where it is. I was from Hertfordshire. Driving to London, I don't care. Why do you do that, and why is that important for you?
Because I feel like, first of all, it will be very naive of me to just block out certain opportunities or stop going, like, will not go to certain places just because they're far. Like, the distance is like the question, like, how much do you want it? Are you willing to go this far for this? And if you're not, then clearly you're not meant to be doing this. Because if something's your passion, then it doesn't matter. Like, music is my passion, bro. So it doesn't matter where this set is. Obviously, like, if it's like Scotland or something, cool.
Yeah, obviously.
But like, obviously within reason, innit? But if, like, I'm from London, so if there's a set in London and I can get there, I'm going.
It makes sense, of course.
If I cannot get there at all, then cool. But if I know I can get there, then there's no excuse for me not to go. I need to go.
I mean, we had this conversation, and I mean, there are some people obviously have a different mentality where even if it's like half an hour down the road and it means getting a train, it's a bit techie for them because obviously maybe it's just long for them. But you hit the nail on the head there that if that's long for you, then you shouldn't really be doing this kind of thing. Do you get what I'm saying? And again, this is shown with where you are today, because I always believe, and no doubt your mum will say this, you put in the work, you'll see the results. Yeah. And you have been doing that consistently. And I said this to you, I was screaming this at you. I was like, bro, and I loved it because there'll be a setting, you go Flex FM, for example. Jesus.
Bro, that's so far. Do you remember that thing? Oh my
days, bro. Like, do you know what? That is a prime example of what I'm talking about. First and foremost, there ain't no train station near there. And secondly, it's some next ends. And it's the fact that you're there regardless, bro. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
like,
let me tell this story quickly, bro. Yeah. Imagine, I've got on the train at Elephant, innit? I'm thinking, I've seen more than on the tube map. So I'm thinking, cool, I'm gonna come out the station. It's gonna be like, what, 10-minute, 15-minute bop at most? Yeah, cool. I've come out of Morden Station, Jedah, and I've checked my phone on the maps, walking distance. I've seen 35 minutes. I said, bro, how am I getting there? Bro, I just had to book a cab from the station.
We're down. Do you see what I'm saying? Certain man will, you know what? I'm turning around and I'm going backyard. But that's what I'm saying to you. A perfect example is that it doesn't matter. It doesn't phase you because I can already tell you, like, I just want to shell. I just want to get on with the microphone. You're a true mic man, and your true passion for music is amazing to see. And I want people to really understand this. And if fellow MCs are watching, take note, because like I said, I don't care. Like, and this is what bugs me as a DJ. Like, you have people who are saying, "Oh, I'm not too sure about that, bro." But then I'm like, "Bro, look at Duppy, for flip's sake, bro. The guy's making." I don't use you as an example, but this is a prime example where of your evidence of your work, right? But like I said, you've done numerous live streams over lockdown. Fold with Roach and Felix Dubs. Recently done Sir Spyro with Renz, JP and Squints. I mean, to get the holler from Spyro to do that, how was that?
That pulled up there, bro. I was gassed, bro. I was gassed, man. Because it's like, you know what it's like to be like, when you're doing your thing, and then you get someone that's got
of that status.
Someone of that status who's got like a big following, who, if they show the world this, they're gonna accept it because it's this person that's saying it. So when Spiral called us up and said, he wants us to pull up and do this set, I was grateful and I was gassed.
I come through that oi, who's that boy? You get boy, big party boy. Don't chat shit cause you ain't got toys. When they get bastard, man, make noise.
Because it's not only that raw, like, am I gonna get to show everyone what I can do? You got to think about the individual as well. It's like, raw, like, Spyro probably comes across however many artists in a day, let alone a year. So for him to
shout
say
you
that,
directly.
yeah, for him to do that, it's a big thing. So big up Spyro each and every time, man. Trust me.
But then you say that though, but then you've literally been in the scene, probably, as I said, more prevalent in the last 2 years, everywhere. Like you're literally on DJs' playlists, MCs' tongues, like everyone's talking about Duppy because, as I said, you're the biggest, the hottest, asset in grime for many, many years. And obviously, for me, I wasn't surprised. I was not surprised when I saw the lab. I thought, well, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense to champion the new generation of grime for people who are doing bits. And big up Squints, big up Renz, big up JP, because they're them. Yeah, of course, man. It makes sense. And that's what we need. We don't champion you, brothers, then our grime scene ain't gonna move, man. And we need to move with the time. So yeah, man, big up Spyro. Another amazing thing is that you were the face of YouTube Music's underground grime playlist.
Yeah.
I mean, that again, incredible. But again, I'm not surprised. How was that for you? Wake up in the morning and seeing that pop up?
I didn't even expect it. I didn't expect it like at all. Like I remember that whole process as well, because what you got to do, you get the email from YouTube Music, and that they ask you to send them a picture, innit? So I've sent it, but I'm not thinking that I'm not putting two and two together. I'm thinking, bro, like they asked me to send a picture, could be for anything. So, bro, cool, I'll send it. I'm all thinking is connected to like my distributor, like DistroKid, and that. I'm thinking, bro, like do I have to put a picture for the song to come up next to my name, or I don't know. I've just sent the picture. I've woken up, seen notifications. I see my name added, and I've seen the picture. And bro, like it's just like a lot of other things. It's just motivated me to keep going, and it's just made me feel good because like I'm putting in work, and it's being recognized. A lot of people put in work, and their work isn't recognized, and it's not their fault. It's just the way that it happens sometimes in life, innit? So I'm actually so grateful. When I saw that, I was pumped. I was in the playlist, gassed, so gassed. So
like I said, it makes sense, brother. Like I said, you're the true rawness and grittiness of grime. It just only made sense to be in that, man. But now big up to yourself. Another amazing fact is your Spotify figures for last year was 44,000 streams, 18,000 listeners in 66 countries. Deep that, Duppy. Deep that. Like, incredible. For someone who's been doing it for 4+ years, again, I'm going to keep asking, how does that make you feel? But that must have been, I'm assuming that you I don't know, did you know that at the time? Or
yeah, no, I remember because everyone was doing the, like people do the Spotify for artists at the end of the year. So I saw people putting it. I was like, bro, how do I do that? I didn't know how to do it. I've never had one before. So I've gone on there, I've checked, I've done the whole process, yeah. And I've seen the stats, bro. I swear to you, I've refreshed the page, bro. I refreshed the page in it.
Just in case it's someone else's.
I'm thinking, this is fake. This is cap. This is cap. I've refreshed it, bro. Done the exact same process, yeah. The exact same numbers have come up. I've said, like, how? How did I do it? I don't know how I done it, but I've done it.
You did it. You did it.
Made me want to keep on going, because if I can been putting in work for, on a grand scheme of things, in comparison to others, it's been a very short duration of time in my music career.
Exactly.
Like, I'm new and fresh. So, like, and to me, numbers isn't everything, but they are important and they don't lie. So when I saw the stats, I was overwhelmed still. Especially 66 countries, bro. That's mad still.
You mentioned how it's not important, but it is, because you're still your infancy of your musical career. So those kind of figures do help you elevate you and motivate you to carry on. Because it'll be interesting to see what 2021 figures are, to be honest, bro. Especially with lockdown, people at home, people want to find new music.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. Another thing which we mentioned is what's coming up on the 16th of July. Big up DJ Oblig once again. This is
My
massive.
brother.
This is massive. This is Fabric Live. Yeah. Again, I'm not gonna say anything. Talk to me.
Bro, two people called me to tell me, yeah. So, like, when I got the first call, I was gassed, but I thought, cool, that maybe they're just trying to see if do you get it? Maybe it's not solidifying. Bro, it was the next day I got the second call from a completely different person. And they said to me, yeah, bro, Fabric's booking. I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you actually mean?
Wow.
Me, bro, first live show, Fabric. Like,
I mean, again,
even me, I'm still overwhelmed. Still, that's why I
Of
don't really have
course.
much to say right now with it, because it's just like,
yeah, it's still
it's a
too
lot to
early.
take in.
It is, but I'm not surprised. Again, I'm not surprised because as I said, you refreshed the grime scene, and if anything, it's truly deserved, man. And I'm happy to see you on the lab, but probably a lot of people are to see that because it just makes sense. Like I said it from the start. My mum always told me, you put the work rate in, you'll reap the results, and you really are, man. So I knew this. I knew something like this was coming, and for it to be of this stature and that big of a stage, light work for you, my brother.
Man, still, I'm looking forward to shelling it though. I'm not gonna lie.
Looking forward to
Even
watching
when
it.
when I think about it, like I think about it like this as well. So boom, this is my first live show, and it's Fabric. So what's gonna I don't focus on the future. I focus on now. Obviously, I think about what I want to do in the future, but I don't focus on it all day, every day. But this just makes me think, what's gonna happen next? What is actually because it can't go down from here. It only has to go up.
It can only go down if you lose your mentality and work rate, then of course. But I don't see that happening with you.
I can't.
Well, exactly. Like I said, look, this is exact motivation for you to just keep smashing it, keep going, keep doing your radio sets, keep doing your live shows, keep doing your tunes, your singles, keep doing your freestyles on Instagram, which we spoke about on the phone last night. The importance of that, because look, as we mentioned, you've done a freestyle, put it on Instagram, you get a very prolific MC in the scene, Capo Lee, saying, I want to jump on this.
Yeah.
From out of nothing, from something, spitting bars in your bedroom, you're getting a feature.
To that.
You get me?
It's mad, bro. I'm just seeing a public comment. I'm like,
you get me? And
all
like
I done was put on an instrumental one spray, but
I mean, that I remember seeing it. On Oblig's story once. I was like, "Who's this guy? He's in his bedroom spitting bars." I didn't really think of it too much. I was like, "Okay, big up. He sounds sick." And then when I started seeing the kind of the engagement from people, like, "Yeah, Duppy," I was thinking, "Oh, right, that brother." And what I love is you've kept it going. You've kept it real. You stuck with it. You haven't changed. That's what I love about you. You don't deviate or think, "Oh, let me change it. Let me try and make myself look something that I'm not." You keep it gritty. You can say, "I'm in my bedroom, bro. I'm spitting bars." What?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
It's just because I just think you have to be true to yourself. Am I really gonna put on a whole brand new tracksuit? Am I gonna iron a tracksuit, put on a tracksuit, go to the barbers, get a trim just to drop a freestyle? No.
Exactly.
I don't care. I'm in my house. I'll do a freestyle in my dressing gown. I'm in my house. I'm at home.
What do you expect? I'm not gonna stunt that yard, bro. You get me?
It's honestly, it's that.
I hear that, man. No, I love to see that, man. I love that you've kept that grittiness and the same mentality. It's amazing. Just to end it off here, I mean, you've had chopsticks, clean sheet, the guy again, I mean, you can go watch it on Duppy's YouTube channel, by the way, because the videos are sick. Big up Relly. Relly's my guy as well. Big boy videographer from early. Amazing videos. I'm not going to say too much. People, I'm going to put the links in the bio for you to check out Duppy's YouTube channel because the videos are incredible. Again, has got probably, I think, the most streams, 3,500, if I'm not mistaken, which makes sense because the tunes are banger and the video is a sick. But I'm not going to say too much. But lastly, before we end it off here, Barcode, produced by Jams and Jack. That big rhythm. What I love about it is being a DJ. Normal MCs from the get go when the beat starts, he starts spraying. You've left a nice little introduction. Surprised me because I was with Oblig doing a set with him and he played it. I was thinking, oh yeah, that beat. And next minute, Duppy's vocals come through and I'm like, I'm thinking, what? Like, is that tune? How did that come about? And is it out at the moment?
All right, cool. So yeah, Barcode is out at the moment on Bandcamp and all streaming platforms. So go get that. Visuals are actually coming very soon. But yeah, so you see when I started doing sets, yeah, like prolifically, like I was basically at a set like every day. So every time I've gone to a set, bro, I've heard that beat. And I'm like, no. I already know it's Jams in it because like Jams is one of my favorite producers in the game. So that when I hear a Jams beat, I know it's a Jams beat. And then I found out it's Jams and Jack. I was like, yeah, sick collab, boom. But I keep on hearing this beat, bro, and the beat is hard, and no one's got a tune.
It makes sense. Like jump on it before next man jumps on it. You know the ones there.
Exactly. So, but this is what's mad because I've recorded the song before I've even like spoken to Jams and Jack, like in it. So like, I didn't know them at the time that I recorded the song. So I've recorded it and I've put this snippet up on my Instagram. Same thing, my bedroom again, same position, just like dancing to the tune. This time I'm actually in my dressing gown. So I'm just dancing to the tune, listening to the tune on my Instagram. I put it up, bro. Jams and Jack that have commented, bro. So I said no. I said no. Like, is this fake? Is someone trying to prank me or like? And this is at the time that everything's still at the early stage of my career. So a lot of things are just like first time for me, like getting certain like producers and MCs contacting me about works. It's the first time. So when they are, I'm just feeling gas and I'm pumped. So when I saw them comment, I was just like, yeah, man, this is amazing. And then I've asked Jams, asked Jack that if I could record on it. And then they were like, yeah, do your thing, bro. It's yours.
The big boy rhythm. It's a track that you could definitely start off a set with because it would just set pace and it's incredible. The energies are there. The instrumental is amazing. And like I said, the little introduction there, you're thinking, okay, you're setting the mood here, nice little instrument, and then bam. After that, I think it's a 16 or the 32, you just go straight in and it's just, yeah, man, you go in.
All the sets that I'm part of, them man touch mine, didn't get part of mine, cause my rap boot won't let me bark off, better than me, one car better answer.
But it's a big boy tune. Big up Jams and Jack every single time. Before we end it off here, again, Duppy, I just want to say, well done. This is coming from my heart. I've told you this. Every time I see you, I tell you this, that I'm very proud of you. A lot of people are proud of you for what you've done. It's also because I love grime. My grime passion is grime, and I feel that you are one of the key people who are helping us carry the new generation and keeping the scene going. Because without that, we can't move, we can't progress with our sound, and we can't enjoy what we do. So you need to be acknowledged for that. As I said, you are a key role model for the new generation because you're doing work, so you're doing bits, and you should be very, very proud of you.
Appreciate that, my brother.
But before we go, we've got anything else that we're looking forward to coming up, or are we just going to see Wagwan? Any more instrumental packs that would just touch in my inbox, or just,
No, yeah, I got you still, though. You know, I got you. But I'm not going to say too much to the fans. I'm just going to let them, see what's going on.
Just let the visuals and audio.
Yeah, man. Let me keep up to my namesake right about now. But just know we're working still. There's a lot of things in the pipeline still.
And I know there is, and I don't deny that, but I'm not surprised, bro, because like I said, you've come far, and there's only so much more to come, brother. So we're all looking forward to your journey, brother. We're watching you with proud eyes, my brother. So well done.
Thank you very much.
All right, bro. Thank you for joining me today, brother. It's been a pleasure.
Bro, thank you for having me.
You're welcome, my bro. Big respect,
brother.
Bless.
Come on.